Hey guys, welcome back to another video, and in today's video we're doing the Shrine of Secrets review for the 9th of May 2023 and not the 10th of May because this shrine came out a day early, which I did not know until this morning. I was late to it anyway because I was out all day yesterday. But yeah, apparently this reset on Tuesday instead of yesterday, which I don't know why. I don't know if that, well, it kind of been a mistake because it's still here now, so I don't really know. But apparently, yes, it came out on Tuesday instead of Wednesday. So there you go. But yeah, and also we've got a bit of a rainbow going on today. Got all the colors for this. So let's get started. First of all, we have Fire Up, which is a Freddy perk. And this one has to you gain a 4% stackable buff for damaging generators, vaulting, breaking pallets, and picking up survivors once a generator is completed, which goes up to 5 for the 5 generators. Now, this one, I see what they were going for because Freddy is kind of, all his perks really are to do with getting to the end game and building up as the game goes on. But, as I've said before, I think it's kind of silly at the same time to have a perk that only gets stronger once the objective gets done, that being the survivor's objective, because you're supposed to be preventing them finishing generators and getting kills. So I think a perk that kind of needs to wait for you to lose, basically, is kind of weak. 4% as well is not great. I know it stacks up, but still, you know, the point is that you're not supposed to let generators get finished. This perk relies on that. So I just think this is pretty weak. You know, the effects are nice, and the picking up. This is the only perk that affects picking up speed. So this can eventually throw off the timing of flashlight saves, which again I guess is kind of nice, but again, you know, it's a whole perk slot. The perk's pretty bad in general, so I would say no. Next up we have Thwack, which is a skill merchant perk. I always say Thwack, and this is, well, again, I'll say it like I'll keep saying this as the shrine reviews go on for a bit, but as I've said in previous weeks, you need this and the other perk that we're going to talk about after for the tome challenges. So if you do not own the characters or you don't have these perks leveled up or anything, definitely get them if you're planning on doing the archive challenges because at some point you'll need them. You might need them now already, I'm pretty sure. But yes, so I'm just saying that now. Like, I think this perk and the other perk is definitely worth getting if you're doing that, at least if you're going to get anything. But anyway, as this perk as it is, after you hook a survivor, it activates, and then the next time you break a pallet or a breakable wall, which while this perk is active, it will make the survivors within 32 meters scream and reveal their aura for 4 seconds. This one is actually really solid. I'm not 100% on skill merchant's perks right now, but this one I have actually been using on a few different killers. I actually really like it. It's really easy to trigger because you just have to hook someone and then it gets basically like saved up. And the next time you kick a wall or a pallet, you get to see anyone. 32 meters is a pretty big range, to be fair, and you get the aura reveal for 4 seconds. So even if you miss them somehow, or you can't tell where the scream came from, you get an aura reveal. And yeah, I think it's pretty good. I think the information is really solid. I think especially in like a compact, small map, I think if there's more than one person, it will count more. It doesn't just do like the person who's closest or something like that. It just does anyone within 32 meters. There you go. And I just think, like I said, the information is good. It's an easy perk to trigger. It is kind of like Spirit Fury, I guess, where you kind of have to leave pallets and walls up for a bit. You can't, like, you know, you should try not to break them before you get this perk active, if that makes sense. Same with Spirit Fury, where you have to kind of leave them up until you're ready to charge up Spirit Fury. So, other than that, I honestly think this perk's great. I've got it prestige, and I've been using it on a few different killers, and it actually gets me a lot of value. So, I really like it personally. Next up, we have Blood Rush, which is a Renato perk. This perk and description is so massive that it literally doesn't even fit in the screen, so I don't even know how I'm going to crop this. But anyway, this perk activates once you are on Death Hook, which basically means you're one hook away from being sacrificed. And while you're healthy, running, and suffering from exhaustion, you can press the active ability button to lose a health state, and you instantly recover from the exhausted status effects caused by exhaustion perks or like exhaustion add-ons, and you gain the broken status effect for a bit, and it's kind of like renewal where you automatically heal from injured to healthy after the broken status effect runs out. Being put into the dying state does cancel the effect, and it disables for the rest of the trial. So that sounds like a lot, but essentially anytime you're exhausted and you're healthy and you're running, you can press the button and you can basically make that exhaustion go away immediately so you can get your perks back, but it will make you broken. And the same way that renewal has like a 20-second thing where you're broken and then you heal, I'm pretty sure it's the same. I think it does actually go 20 seconds and you'll become healthy again. So you have to just go 20 seconds without being downed. But if you can do that, then you automatically heal and you get your exhaustion back. So yeah, I think it's a pretty good perk actually. Again, I haven't really used it to be honest, but from that description, it sounds good. You know, I mean, exhaustion. It's like a unique perk. You know, it's a good one as well. That's like you can kind of do halfway through a match. You have to be careful because it does say it disables it permanently for the rest of the trial. But you know, if you get to pull it off in a really dire situation, or you just really need that sprint burst or something, then you can use this, and you know, it's good. It's a good like trade-off really, because at the same time it makes you broken and it just keeps you injured for like 20 seconds. But at tier 1 it goes to 28 seconds. So, you know, it really relies on you like being good and like the trade-off and the risk and everything. So I actually really like it. I need to use it more, I think. And also, like I said, this is one of the perks that you'll need for the challenges, so do keep that in mind. But yes, I quite like it. And finally, we have Streetwise, which is a Nia perk, and this one has so it reduces the consumption rate of item charges by 25%, and survivors who are within 8 meters of you, and then it persists for 15 seconds after they leave the range. So it basically just makes it so your items aren't used up as quickly. You can get a bit more use out of them. This applies to you and survivors around you. And like I said, it does also apply once they leave your 8 meters. It carries on for 15 seconds, which is quite nice. It's a nice little bonus, kind of like Leader. I think Leader has a similar thing where it persists for a bit after they leave. Yeah, I think this one, you know, if you're someone who uses items a lot, or you know that you, or like if you're in the lobby and you notice a lot of people have items, just maybe, you know, maybe swap out a perk for this. Maybe if you're running with friends as well, it's even better because one of you can use this and then it applies to the whole team. I just think it's good for like that. And if you're not really use items or anything, then you don't really need to use it. But it's a good perk to have. I guess it's kind of like Lightborn, where, you know, when you sit in the lobby, you notice that there's like 3 or 4 flashlights, then it's a perk that you've got so that you can swap it out in case, you know, you just can't be bothered to put in flashlights, which is fair enough. This is kind of the similar thing, I think. It's kind of like a perk that's just in your inventory, and if you're in a lobby and you have to see that everyone's got items, or that you know you'll be using items and maybe some strong add-ons, then you can swap this perk out. It's up to you, really. I think it's okay. I don't think it's something to use like a whole lot, or, you know, use it very consistently, because again, it's not something that actively helps you. It's just like a nice little buff, I guess. You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't really help you in chase. Doesn't really help you get gens done in some cases. So, you know, not like a brilliant perk. It's not like outstanding by any means, but it's definitely good and worth it as well. So, out of all of these, I'd actually probably say these two, not just because they're archive challenges, which again I will keep going on about because, you know, PSAs, you gotta you gotta have these perks for the challenges. So even if you get into tier 1, or you just buy them from here or whatever, definitely do it because you'll need it for. I think, like I said, I think all the challenges that are out right now, for now, do need these, and I know there'll be more in the future that will probably need them as well. Flak, I honestly think is just a really good perk for information. It's easy to trigger and you get easy value out of it. As long as it's a map that, like, you know where pallets are and you don't break them too early or anything like that. I think if you've got access to that, because sometimes you'll get this perk active, but if you're chasing someone again and you down them, then, you know, you haven't really got value out of that flak because it's going to hook someone else. You know what I mean? So, you know. And also Blood Rush, I actually think sounds solid. Again, I've only used it like a few times, if that. So I think I maybe need to use it more because it sounds really strong, but also it sounds like balanced as well, which is always good. Sounds like a good trade-off to me. So that would do it for me, guys. Hope you enjoyed. Hope you found this useful, and I'll see you in the next one.